Hi, Karen. I thought I'd send along information about the PACE exam, and it might be easier to show you and walk through the material. Okay, so the first thing I did is I went to the ASAP website, and I had to pay for it. So at the time that I bought it, it was like $375 or something like that. Then once you pay, you gain access to all of their materials, and the PACE exam itself had 4 modules. I think it was 4 or 5 modules. Oh yeah, we can go through them here. And the idea is that you're supposed to study and be an expert on these things, and then you take the exam to pass the exam. But it's really like an old school exam where the questions are very specific. So you just have to study, right? Because you and I should be able to pass this exam without studying. We teach this for a living, but I had to study because the questions are just that specific. So the first module is interpersonal communication, and I should say for each of the modules, they give you a little. They have a trainer video, so someone walks you through the material. Each one is about an hour, hour and a half long, and it's a great overview. I watched that, I took notes, and that gave me some cues for how to study. I found that really helpful. And then, sorry, my Labrador keeps bumping the desk. So then the idea is you're supposed to read these books under each module and study. So the first one was communication, the second one is project task management, the third one was IT. That was my favorite, that, of course, right? Loved it. That was the easiest for me. But again, it was just really specific stuff. Even I had to look at the materials a little bit because one of them was like, it's recommended that you do X, Y, and Z. Well, depending on who's making the recommendation, right? So I did have to look at it. And then the biggest one was the management module. That one was bigger than all of the others. And you can see that here by all of the books that are included. So they had a training video that I took notes on. They had a whole nother series of introductory videos that I watched and took notes on as well. They were like how to study videos. That was very helpful. I took notes on those as well. I did not read all of these books. I can imagine that if someone was brand new to the profession, they should read and study all those books. But what they also give you then is this study guide. And this is what I spent the most time studying. I just went over this. It's all 4 modules. And what the modules do then is they summarize the key points from all of the books that are listed in the recommended reading. And so I just went through this thing over and over again. I took notes, I studied my notes, I reviewed it again, and that because the exam questions were just that specific. The exam itself took 90 minutes and it had 160 questions. So it was doable. It wasn't, you had to pay attention to your time, but it wasn't like I couldn't finish. And then that was it. I signed up in May. I got professional development funding. I signed up in May, and then I took it last week, the last week of July, the second to last week of July. So that's about how long I prepped for it and passed. So, all right, let me know if you have any other questions or if you want me to send you my notes or anything.